to the channel and to the Civil War. We are at the end of 1861 and the Union has survived so far, which I suppose is a good thing. Unless you're the Confederate AI, in which case it's pretty bad. But what has happened since the last video? Well, we have a lot of new recruits because Congress finally signed 36-month contracts. Well, that's the ACT research policy. So I guess I recruited, I couldn't tell you an exact number, 10, 15 of the largest brigades. In the mod I'm playing, A.O.M, the largest brigade is 2,500 men instead of 3,000 in vanilla. But I held off on recruiting those large brigades until now. I think it makes sense. You just get better buck out of larger brigades. The total number of troops... Excuse me? I don't know why. Yesterday when I saved, I was up at almost exactly the same number of men fielded as the Confederates here, 148,000 I believe. Now it's down to 100,000. I think that's a save thing, because when I checked my army numbers here, I just loaded up the game. Yeah. Okay, it might have something to do with that I am transferring off map a lot of new brigades that I recruited back in October when we finished the policy of 36. It's the Act 4, so it's quite a bit ahead of its time here. Now I'm researching government funding. This in itself doesn't do a lot, but I can start printing money. And I surely will discuss economy in just a minute. Okay, so I think you should ignore that 100,000. I also examined these numbers a little bit. I have to say, one of my favorite parts of the game, and probably what draws me back to it now, I'm celebrating 300 hours in the game, is probably all these tooltips and the finicky thing of building your army, examining leaders, uniforms, recruitment, general grand strategy stuff. I complain a lot when I play tactical battles and even move around armies on the strategic map. So I suppose those activities are just not quite there yet for me to enjoy. But I suppose with combination of managing the entire war, I suppose that's what keeps drawing me back. So anyway, I suppose we can examine from west to east our armies. Facing the same numbers, Army of the West has not been in battle yet. They don't have a supply depot, but I don't get a supply alert. And they're just oh, look, we are not in winter camp here. And we actually have 600 disabled, which is not great. Yeah, look at the fielded manpower here. Last changes in manpower, trailing 3 months. Casualties are 10k. Attrition is 21,000, so almost double the casualties from battles. Return to services, 8k. I guess that's out of the attrition and casualties. Anyway, I suppose I want to minimize my... I wasn't aware that you didn't go into winter camp unless, I guess, you're close to a settlement. So let's fall back here to Springfield. Sorry. Shiny, attention, span. Anyway, we have 7,000 here, but I have 2 of the new 2,500 36-month recruits. And as you can see, they are all equipped with Springfield muskets. I don't have any more rifle muskets to give out. In a month, though, we'll get a huge order of 50,000 rifle musket Springfields. And that's, I guess, the next big thing that happens. Okay. That means the Missouri Corps, the Department of Missouri here, which is kind of my recruiting army in the back. I realized that joining newly recruited brigades in your field armies is kind of a bad idea, because they will draw down your average readiness, and that might, if you recruit a lot, that can actually get you stuck in enemy territories. So I think the idea of having, and it also fits historically, right? The Union had these departments that recruited troops and then transferred them to the front. The Army of Mississippi is going to be up to 13,000, but they're purely defensive here in Cairo, because honestly, it's probably the worst army unit in the entire army. It's just horrible, with equipment, leaders, training, 1-year recruits with no experience. Yes, during fall of 1861, they did a foray under Grant down here to Memphis and managed to retreat again. But it's just a bad army, and as you can see, John Pope is now in charge of it. Grant is not here anymore, and since we're going west to east here, the Mississippi River Squadron has a new commander, Farragut. It's the best commander I have. I think this is the most important fleet. It doesn't matter. He's not like a blue water open sea fleet commander. You can place him in river flotilla command. If we go over here into Kentucky, I decided to make one of the departments here with 10,000 men into a field army of Kentucky, and send it down to Fort Louisville to winter here, and then in the spring we're gonna take a foray. Like, my plan is to advance towards Bowling Green and Nashville here, put some pressure on the Union. We even managed to send over 16 guns to them, but we don't have any cavalry here. So this is just a fresh army consisting of 4 new of the large brigades here, from Ohio mostly, and this area up here. I think some from Kentucky. So I could have sent these brigades, transfer them off map to other field armies, but I decided I needed a new small field army for Western Kentucky for the spring of '62. The newly renamed Army of Cumberland is also, it's kind of a bit of a mixed bag here. Bull Nelson is a rather good commander. We have some cavalry, but they're about to leave in 8 months. It's actually the largest, well, one of the largest cavalry forces in the Union Army. We don't have a lot of cavalry. These are all starting scripted, and in this case 12-month contracts. And as I said before, I don't know what happens in 8 months. Will these units dissolve? Half of the troops go back into the volunteer pool, or will these contracts be prolonged? I think maybe I need to read the manual. Anyway, I retreated from Knoxville. As you can see, we have captured Knoxville here, but I just felt that winter quarters wasn't there that great, and I'm actually building a supply depot. This is my second building in the entire campaign. I'm building this depot. I also built a fort in Louisville that I haven't gotten much use out of. Other than that, I refrain from building anything. And we'll go into my economy. It's very bad, I can tell you that. Over in West Virginia, we have the Army of the Ohio, which is sieging a freshly built Confederate fort here. It's in good shape, and it has 9 artillery pieces, I believe, and 39 men. But since we are running 10,000 men under McDowell here, they actually have 3 volunteer cavalry brigades, and I was thinking of detaching these cavalry and send them towards Grayson, Paintville, and maybe threaten even Abingdon here in the Confederacy, because this is a route into the Confederacy that is not guarded. I feel like I need to harass, skirmish, scout, raid the Confederacy, not allow them to use their manpower. I'm saying advantage, but we are now on equal numbers, around 150,000. I remember when I played in the vanilla, I played the South, and at this time, I think I stuck with 100,000 men. I did not have 150,000. And I have examined the economy, and the South's economy is also under heavy strain, of course, when you recruit this amount of troops. We have the Army of West Virginia, I think. Yeah. They are sitting in hostile territory doing nothing, which means it takes them a longer time to get their readiness up, which shows. But my grand strategic goal for 1862 campaign is actually to try to liberate West Virginia. There is a victory objective here that pertains to capture West Virginia. It lowers CSA, national morale. It doesn't raise mine. Wheeling, Grafton, Charleston. Wheeling, Grafton, Charleston. Defeat any Confederate armies there to control West Virginia. So maybe then we will establish West Virginia as a state. Not sure, but I am going to keep... Grafton is such a logistic and communication hub. It opens up to so many places that I just feel like I don't want to fall back into my own territory. I'm just going to winter here. But it's weird though that I'm not in winter quarters. Is it that you have to be on your own territory to do it? No, I don't think so. Maybe I need to move into Clarksburg, or I'm sitting... Well, am I sitting on the... I don't know. Maybe it's not winter weather here. I don't know. Anyway, we had a bit of a fight here, like a small skirmish with, I think, this Department of South Carolina, maybe. I think they're retreating from that skirmish up here somewhere around Beverly. So they're not going to be much of help towards... Hello, thanks for the follow. I'll tab out. Hey, Tuckany. I don't have a viewer, but I have a new follower. Okay, I'm happy with that. Maybe you're watching my older videos on YouTube or Twitch. So I don't see how they can save their fort here. They also built a depot. So it's kind of it's not an invasion, it's more a harassment of Confederate resources that they invested into defending Charleston. They do have forces here, 7,500, 2,000. Like we're not outnumbering them in West Virginia that much, but we are more focused into two, let's say 10,000 man armies. And these two armies are, considering it's 1861, they're decent. They're not the best, they're not the worst. And for some reason we control the New Market Depot here. I'm not sure I wanna, and then we have a hospital here. Don't understand how the game works. I have not been down here with a unit, and I'm fairly sure that the rebels have passed by here on their way north. Because what started out as a really small skirmish that I was sure to win in around Winchester here and Harper's Ferry has turned into a massive siege where 2nd Corps under Buell, along with the Army of the Shenandoah, we're around 18,000. We're now sieged by almost 7,000. That's not correct. That was 70,000 yesterday. What the hell kind of? As you can see here, Army Potomac consists of 36,000. This tooltip is wrong. Army of the Peninsula. Army of the Potomac. Yeah, okay. Ignore that number. They outnumber me heavily here with the Army of the Potomac here, 36,000. I do believe I could fight fairly well a defensive battle with the Army of Shenandoah. So what I've done is, if you check the Army Ledger, it should consist of 36,000 troops when all the reinforcements get there. Because I have transferred a lot of newly raised 36-month brigades, but also quite a few Army veterans from all around. So, and I put Grant in command here, which is my best army leader. So this is my main focus for now, winning this siege. Yesterday... Okay, this is so weird. Yesterday when I saved this game, the Confederates were about to win this with like 76%. Now it looks like it's a Union victory, but I just guess the game hasn't updated it yet. You don't get... Alright, here you go. Right now, we have a 62% chance of victory. That is not correct. This will change when I unpause the game, I believe. And as you can see, the army of the Shenandoah is sitting down here guarding Richmond with 30,000. And we have about the same number in the army of the Cumberland sitting in Washington, staring across the Potomac River, I suppose. Actually, we have 36,000 here, so we outnumber them. I have recaptured Fort Washington. I'm repairing it, and I put a garrison brigade in there. We have the Potomac Flotilla patrolling here. I have no idea what river flotillas are supposed to do in this game. I haven't seen them engage or do anything. I haven't seen a try to chase retreating and moving rebel river armies when they put their armies and transport them on the river. I mean, that would be a massacre, right? Troop transport flotillas without any armed escort, and you have these steam gunboats chasing them on the river. That should turn out badly, but I haven't been able to engage them. So that's the land warfare. Let's go over to the naval warfare. What I did was I checked around on my, after like 6 months of war, I did check around on my blockading and river flotillas, and I realized that a lot of them are damaged. And since I have not turned on auto management on my fleets, our shipyard utilization is at 0. Yeah, we probably need to advance this over a day so that the game can update. But anyway, I replaced a lot of damaged ships with undamaged ships, and I kind of balanced the flotillas around here. I am also training or recruiting a new flotilla in New York, lower base squadron here, and I'm gonna send it to somewhere. There are still a few unblockaded ports, I realized, in the north of Texas. Is that it? Yeah, Galveston isn't under blockade yet, and also Beaumont. So I'm gonna send them down here. They're very experienced. They all have 2 starting perks, and I don't know what to do with the last perk. There isn't really a blockading perk. You could have a bit of bombardment. So what I want to do is I want to pull one of these blockading squadrons out of the line and give it like a bombarding perk and have it as a fort engagement amphibious assault invasion flotilla, and give it, I guess, the best bombardment ships, which I don't know which they are, but for summer 1862, and try to pull an amphibious invasion force out of the line. But for now, we're not outnumbering the Confederacy, so we don't have, I don't feel I can afford to start investing into an amphibious assault somewhere on the coast. But it's only fall 61, it's not spring yet, 62. Economy-wise, we're doing poorly. We're doing very poorly here. We have 20 million, but we owe 240 million. We've spent heavily. We have -A credit rating. So, and we are only subsidizing military here. So I guess Lincoln has kind of overspent on military spendings, and ignored the economy for now. So my main goal during the winter is just to get the economy in shape, increase our income, and balance the economy. Because the way it's going now, it's actually, we're going to default and not be able to recruit more troops. I don't know. You go from -A to BBB. I don't know. And I examine kind of the different income and revenues here. Well, sure, we make twice as much money as the Confederacy, but we're not running much more of a deficit, etc., etc. And when it comes to naval tonnage, I think this modded game has a lot more rebel ships. Sorry, South States Confederates. They have 66,000 tons of tonnage, and we only have 128. So in the vanilla campaign, I'd say the Confederate fleet is just outnumbered 10 to 1. Here you can't quite relax. There's been a few naval battles, and I suppose some money is going into maintaining, well, definitely maintaining the fleet, but also repairing it and operating it. Our Navy upkeep is on par with the Army upkeep here, actually. And if you compare the trade warfare cost, well, we only have half the cost of the Confederate. And when I played vanilla campaign, I was, as the South, bleeding so much money compared to the Union here in trade warfare. So I have a feeling my Union economy is worse than when I played the vanilla campaign as the South. Whether that's a thing because I have done zip zero, but spend money on my army and research subsidies, and the AI was doing better than I was. That's a possibility. Also, there could be some scripted and modified files in the mod. I don't know, but as I'm saying, we need to pay attention to our economy from now on. So if I summarize 1861, it's quite successful. We are 2 to 1 casualties, and that is because still the AI tactical battle performance is subpar. Nothing much to do about that. But on the hardest difficulty, if I were to, I'm thinking how to play this game. Maybe have a house rule that you do auto resolve, which is quite boring, right? I mean, the game isn't good enough to just auto-resolve every battle, even if that's more balanced. It's a tactical battle combination with a strategic field overview that makes the game fun. But first I'm trashing the AI in the tactical battles. Also, I get so much grief and annoyance out of playing them because of how wonky they are. That's a nice way of putting it, in my opinion. That I really don't know. But okay, out here on the map, I'm having fun surviving as the Union. Porter at destination. This is Ohio River Squadron. All right, so not very interesting. Okay, I don't think that's where I sent them. I think I sent them down here to this fort to kind of engage this fort here, but I'm not sure. Maybe they can't enter this river here. Which name I don't know. I guess this is Ohio up here, but is this James River? Sorry, I don't know. That's a good thing. I'm now more interested in kind of learning not only the major rivers. Wait a minute. If this is the Mississippi here, this is the Mississippi, and it turns into Missouri River, I'll better shut up with the rivers names here. I basically only know Mississippi. Okay. But I can't even move this fleet. Try to put them all on offensive, the river squadrons. Is it because we getting reinforcement? I kind of pulled out small steam-going gunboats from my blockading blue water naval squadrons, and now I'm transferring them into the river squadron. So overall, we have more large sailing ships out in the ocean, and we have more small steam-going riverine gunboat crafts heading towards these river squadrons. Since I can't seem to be doing anything with them, I don't know if that's very useful. I actually was thinking of disbanding a lot of ships, if I just could figure out which are the worst to disband, because I don't see the use of it. Okay, we advanced one day. We still have 100,000, but we can examine the shipyard capability here. We are using 30 out of 80 shipyard capability. We have 28 ships in repair. This is only a 37% utilization. So that's a nice way of saying that we could build more ships or we could repair more ships. So we have plenty of nice shipyards to use, right? That makes sense. Need to remember to have this fleet. Could you give this an order to move here when it has enough readiness? Or do you have to remember it and do it? Okay, first off, I can't put them offensive. Okay, when they have low readiness, you can't give orders to them. All right. I'll probably forget them for a couple of months, but we'll remember them eventually. So I guess I learned a little bit about, oh shit, what's going on here? Someone is routed. Oh, that's only like subunits, brigades, parts of the army. That's not entire armies. Okay, now they're up to 40,000. So we just had to advance one day, and we still aren't losing this. It says 56% probability of Confederate win in 3 days. I know for a fact those 3 days might turn into 14 days and 5 months and 65 months. So don't trust that engagement day. But I guess they could win in 3 days with 56% probability. I know the first reinforcements arrive here in 4 days. I'm pretty sure it's going to say Harper's Ferry here is 48% chance of victory. So they had two different tooltips giving you two different estimates of your chance of victory. They're quite similar, 48 to 56, but I think the devs need to take a peek on their accuracy of those tooltips. Of course, that's probably just an estimation, because there's going to be like a random die roll somewhere to decide who wins this, or many small skirmish engagement that we're watching here. It would be nice to have a bit of a better explanation of. It's not a siege per se, it's just two defensive armies sitting, staring at each other over the front lines, skirmishing, engaging each other, and all of us, once in a while, after a long time or short time, one of the armies feel pressure to retreat, I suppose. I suppose that's what's going on. Also, when it comes to the first army perks are arriving here now. Shenandoah is an ambulance corps, so we treat our wounded better. Whereas we have a siege perk in the Army of Potomac, because I think I'll be more under siege in Washington or advancing on Richmond, and I was planning on using these for maneuvers instead, so treat my wounded better, but it seems to turn out to be the other way around. The road to Richmond is wide open here. It's just that back in August, September, one large army, rebel army, attacked into Washington. If you go back into the series, and here's the thing: to me it seems like the AI armies, they recuperate much faster because of the difficulty setting, I suppose. So it's really hard for me. By the time I'm on green and ready to advance somewhere, the Confederate armies have already moved around and started their own offensives, and I have to respond to that. So yes, I am handicapped by the difficulty settings when it comes to reaction speed. I have a Washington depot here, which is level 2 with these two dots. Yet one of my supply alerts is it isn't anymore. It's the Army of Cumberland that has provisions twice. Another tooltip that might need a little bit of an overhaul here. Yeah, but we are building a supply depot, and I don't want to retreat further. I am sitting in southern Kentucky, so we're going to finish this depot here in 11 days, and then I'm hoping to have better supplies. The other supply tip is Fort Louisville, the fort I built at the beginning of the campaign up here. I have no idea why. I think it's just bugged. That supply tooltip should not be there. It also says 0% plus. So that's another thing the devs should take a peek. I often find that built forts, humanly, that I build, they will get a supply alert, and it never disappears. It's just permanently up here. Pretty annoying, but not a big thing. Not a big thing. Let's not complain. The Fort Washington takes a very long time to repair. I think something like 3 months. Well, it doesn't say, but you have to trust me. So during the winter, no offensives planned, strengthening the naval blockade, improving the economy, defending Harper's Ferry. We still haven't gotten any troops there. Well, we are going on a low speed. I guess all we can do is just hope we don't lose this this siege. Still, oh, it's down to 45% chance now. And we have a lot of troops. I think we're gonna get kicked out of here. Leon, Army of the West has reached their objective. Alright, yeah, let's see if we go into winter quarters here when we reach this town, which is called Springfield. No, we still don't, and these guys are not in winter quarters anymore. They are in defensive. Maybe it has to do with weather. I don't know when you go into winter quarters. We don't have a supply depot here. The nearest one is up here at Telegraph Station. Should we build one? We only have 4 million and we're bleeding a lot. I might have to turn off my military subsidies, but I don't want to. Oh, we finished the policy. Good. Okay, we are gonna go with print notes. That's gonna give us 60 million in newly printed money. I'm willing to steal public wealth 10%. So in 23 days we'll get more money. Boom. It's just, I think it's the mod. Our credit rating is down and we borrowed more money, didn't we? Well, where did that go? Jesus. Maybe I should auto-manage finances. I mean, what could I cut? What? 68 million in supply depots. Should I burn down a couple of depots? I don't even know how many. It would be nice to have a ledger page of all your... Yeah, okay, let's do this. If I can. Let's burn this one down. We're not gonna advance here during the winter. So we're gonna burn this down. Is it gone now? Burning down, yeah, great. So maybe we save a couple of bucks here. 68 million, 68, let's try to remember that. Do we have any other... I don't know how the depot system works. Like, could I burn down depots in the back up here? If I find any? Oh, we have winter quarters in Ohio here. Right. Yeah, I don't know what to do about the economy. I'm just frantically researching the money printer, because this is not looking good at all. 240 million in debt, and we're still bleeding so much money. But recruitment is only 9 million. Wait, the Navy upkeep is all of a sudden so much higher than the Army upkeep. Jesus, should I... Do I need to, like, decrease the size of my Navy? I can't afford the Navy. It's my major outlay. And... I don't think you can do anything with administration. Well, build fewer buildings, right? So maybe you should start with building markets, subsidizing industry and agriculture, and building up infrastructure, etc. Maybe that's the first thing you do in the modded campaign as the Union, and not recruit 36-month soldiers, because maybe my economy will crash. We will have to see. Okay, we have an engagement here. Army West Virginia. Right. We're actually very evenly matched, but what I don't understand is why we have certain units with low morale. Yeah, it's only a 300-man brigade that are low morale. Cool, we'll get a field battle here. 1-to-1, and I wonder if I'm on defensive stance with these. I hope I am. No, that's not it. Yeah, it looks like both these forces are on defensive stance. So I suppose I should be defending here, and I don't quite see what he expects to do with 1v1. Okay, so 20,000. Let's play this battle, and then we'll end the stream. Now, you should probably skip ahead in the video. You don't want to see my setup until I start moving again, because I'm quite particular and careful with how I deploy my stuff. That's because I feel the larger formation commands works very badly. Not deploying defensively, they work okay that way, but if you want to approach the enemy army on an offensive, quick orders, assault, advance, fallback, retreat, have minimal order delay. We are attacking. So tell me how that makes sense. I don't understand the game. Okay, I think we'll take this battle in the next one. Hope you enjoyed that little summary. See you in the next one. Bye bye.